Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we're getting to some more Tower of God, and I am stressed with the like capital S because there's so much going on. There's kind of chaos because of the time limit. I think that it's really interesting to see how Hwaryun, like how her brain is trying to process everything that's going on and make changes on the spot to accommodate for the fact that the information that she had wasn't actually factual, and that the paths that are being presented to her are actually being messed with because of Emily. She's not actually able to rely on the information that she has, or her understanding of being able to find a path forward and navigate through everything. Her ability as a guide has been compromised to some extent. It's interesting to see her go through the thought process of that, especially since we don't spend a lot of time getting to actually see what's going on from her perspective. It's usually just she's a peripheral character to other stuff going on. Maybe we'll get a few panels of getting to actually have some insight in what's going on with her, but not a whole lot. It's fun to have more story that's more centered around how she's processing what's going on and what her thought process is for going through these different situations. But we ended off with Bam deciding to use the needle and bring his full power out, or at least a good part of it, which I feel like is probably needed to go up against Daniel, but also it scares me. It's a little bit terrifying to think of him wielding that kind of power, but there's also like, how well does he know how to use it? Also, how reliable is it? Because there is some conflict with whether or not it's complete, whether or not it's something that is meshing with him particularly and his abilities and his Shinsu and stuff. It doesn't have like an entity in it that it's supposed to. There's lots of stuff going on. There's lots of stuff going on with Bam and his abilities that just is breaking a bunch of the rules of the magic system, and that's what makes me nervous whenever he starts to use it, is that I'm just like, but how do we know it's stable? And I don't know that, but that's where we ended off. So let's just get into these chapters, and I don't know, maybe we'll get some kind of conclusion. I don't know. Are we getting on this train? I have no idea at this point. All right, here we go. Just makes me nervous. Yep. Also, how much do we want them to know about what he can do? I know they know to some extent because Fu was like there at the workshop battles, but still, like how much do they know? And I know that he didn't want to use it, so that also makes me nervous about him deciding to use it. I like how the internal monologue of Daniel there is him freaking out to be like, oh, this is what we're doing. And then he's just nonchalantly, oh yeah, you had that. I forgot about that. But he's also a liar who lies. So who knows? Trust nothing from him. Don't you though? I'm just worried. What'll it do to Bam if he can't control it? Or if it can't be controlled? Gosh, see that too. It's like, if there's a limit to how he can use it and how long he can use it, is this the situation you want to use it in? I know that he's deciding that anyway, moot point, but are we worried? What if you need to push it to get out of the situation? Because I don't trust Bam to be aware of the time and to make decisions based on, oh, I can't keep using this power because it'll tap me out. I can see him pushing himself to the absolute limit, which is also why I'm nervous, because I'm like, if he does push himself past what he should be capable of, maybe that turns out okay and he expands his power more. Maybe it gets him hospitalized like we've seen in the past. So I'm nervous because we cannot afford to be hospitalized right before boarding this train or as we board the train. What do we do if we get onto the hell train and Bam's incapacitated or injured or weak or whatever? You see where I'm coming from? I worry about him. He's just a little cinnamon bun and I want to protect him. Oh, okay, so it'll take over his body and mind. Cool. Maybe we don't push it. Maybe we just stay in our comfort zone. Also, his self-control doesn't seem very good either. He seems very emotionally driven. As we saw earlier, right? When he was fighting with Yuta, he was like very reckless and just throwing everything in to finding out what he could about Rachel. So he's not making clear decisions about everything that's going on, especially when Rachel's involved, right? And he's so desperate, one, to help his friends, to get the remote, turn off the Guardian, whatever. But he's also extremely desperate to get to Rachel and finally meet up with her in a way that hopefully does not end in disaster. But I really don't know if that's possible. If he needs to keep his self-control, he doesn't seem to be in the right mindset to do that at the moment. Nervous all the time. I like the confidence, but oh good, okay, we have a friend, but maybe don't use it around a friend. We've talked about that before. Oh, I guess we haven't seen a meetup between these two. Do we know each other? Were you on the train together? I feel like they were and they survived. That was part of the little group of survivors, right? Maybe? The Tiny-kun? It's a good question. Why are the rules breaking? But I feel like it wasn't before. Maybe it was that the look between the Guardian and Bam when he passed, because I was like, oh, I feel like that was because he was an illusion, so Bam was able to sneak past. But if it's the actual Guardian, then maybe it was like an acknowledgement of knowing that, and that might be partly why Bam is so desperate to be like, oh, we have to turn this off. But can they? Because it's the real one. So if they have the remote and they turn it off, is it not going to work because it's the real Guardian? Or maybe it was the illusion and now it's not anymore? I don't know, but he's scary. Oh, this feels like a sacrifice. But wait, I was gonna adopt you into my collection of gentle giants. I was like, mysterious thud. Oh, look who decided to show up. Did you finally figure out the door? I like that just Beta shows up unimpressed by what's going on, and then we just shift a different scene. I'm sure that Beta will have a great time getting involved with whatever mayhem is going on there. Oh, we seem a little bit worried. I would be too. He's a scary person. Yes, they're all here, which seems suspicious. Why are we all gathered together when we've been on the train before? Why all at this particular moment? In this particular place? Was Daniel supposed to be one of the ones that died? Her. Also, love the sketchy line work here. Gorgeous. Because I feel like it puts in a certain like emotion, intensity, but also instability into his design as someone who is very much wearing a mask, wearing a persona, lying his way to getting what he wants, right? Daniel puts forth a very specific kind of person to the world because he wants to be perceived that way. And then having this kind of sketchy line work is ruining that illusion. And I love that it's in the shadows, right? It's along the hood and it's around his eyes. So it's the instability or the truth of who he is leaking through the mask. He's not gonna just stand there and watch. Ooh, there's some history there. Maybe we're not gonna see it. Are we hopping the train because you have to see her? I don't know who her is. I don't know what's going on. I will eventually. Yeah, I was like, they're gonna depart without you if you're not there. Ooh, action shot. Are we still on the 10-minute time limit with having his power though? Yeah, was he supposed to be one that died or was he left behind? Okay, he died. So when you're like, oh, everyone died, and then you're like, actually, these people, a few people survived. It was like 3 or something. And he's like, well, actually, like another one survived. I feel like not everyone died. I feel like that's not the story. Is he though? He controls spirits, right? So is that linked to that? And we've had illusions, projections, but we also had lots of people experimenting on other people and turning them into weapons and things. So I feel like there's more to that. There's a story of, other than he was assumed dead and he turned out not to be, I feel like there's some extra layers to that story. There are lots of questions. That transition though, dang, it's hard to see her defeated in any way because I'm so used to her being a hold her own. Yeah, we gotta go. The train is leaving. Oh, are we taking the guide? Gosh, every time I see that smile, I'm just like, if you could punch a drawing. Ooh, good transition. I love all the transitions with the scenes. They've been really good. Yes, interesting to have it be like both illusion and real at the same time. Look who decided to show up. Took you long enough. Yeah, he's got this. They're like friends, begrudgingly. They have a lot in common. It's just like, give me 2 minutes. Just need a breather. It's like the not allowed. They're friends. They don't want to admit it, but they're friends. Oh, this is our team. I was like, who showed up? And I'm like, oh, it's his dad and his kids. Oh, I'm so excited. I miss having everybody together. I miss Team Sweet and Sour and then like season 1 characters. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like giddy now. Yes, they're finally here. How many are here? Is it just the 3 of them? That's enough for me. Arcraptor's here. Love him. I loved his design, but then after that I was just like, oh, he's just a sweetie pie. He's just a dad who's ready to adopt any wayward child he comes in contact with. Different. Is he adapting maybe to the attacks, to the power levels? Yay. I love this assembled moment. Let's go. Okay, so it's whether or not you hit him when he's in physical form or illusion mode that'll change like whether or not there's damage. Beta doesn't quit easily, so I feel like he's gonna roll with it. Here we go. Yeah, are we surprised? Are we surprised that Beta's I'ma just get hit? I'm not. Look at him go though. I love that. How rude. Yay! Team Sweet and Sour. Part of them. I still miss everybody. I like that's just like, where are the other ones? They were help. They just were. They just did a help. Oh, I'm so excited to see them leveling up. I just adore them so much. They're sweet and sour. They're such sweetie pies, and I'm just happy that they're like here, and the intensity of them being like, the confidence, right? Of them being like, oh, we're gonna mess you up. Nice. Look at her. She has so much to prove too. She has so much guilt at this point, and all she wants to do is be able to not be like a weak link, even though it's not how the team sees her, even though they don't blame her for what's going on. She has that. She holds that, especially with what happened to Hwaryun, right? She holds so much guilt and feels like she needs to prove so much that seeing her come out confident and be like, look how much I've improved. I'm just so proud of her. And also you should be scared of her. Ooh, I love all the notes analyzing. That's cool. Okay, we're attacking the door. Sounds like a plan. Let's blow it up. Sure. I feel like Beta will be okay with that. He's cool, explosions and destruction. Oh, maybe not. Your aim's bad. Maybe not, though. Oh, be careful of the door following. That face of like, oh. I love seeing Prince come through too, because I feel like he also has things to prove because he was captured, right? So he feels like he also needs to make up for it. And I feel like also because he had so much confidence early in season 2 and really got wiped with the floor, honestly. He feels like he has to make up for so much to be like, actually, I am all the bravado that I've put forth. I need to actually meet those expectations, or prove that it isn't just bravado, it isn't just bragging, it's who I actually am. Also, the color work here with the dark greeny blue and then the purples, it's good. Okay, I do like them all working together, and like all of them be able to figure it out and keep up, right? True. It's not a moving target, which is helpful. Look at them working together. All that bickering. Ooh, look who else showed up. Has it been 2 minutes? Dang, boy. You had a bone to pick at that point, didn't you? Again, something to prove. So many of the members of Team Sweet and Sour, and especially the younger members, have so much to prove at this point, because they feel like they're either a burden to other people, or they need to live up to expectations or their name, or they need to be able to step into the role of taking on more responsibility, right? Because the tower is not built for children, for young people, right? So you bring in young people into this environment, they have to grow up super quickly, they have to take on a lot of responsibility, and to make it this far on the tower, they have to step up to that expectation. So I feel like there are so many young characters in this series that just feel like they have so much to prove, and it's a wonderful contrast with some of the older members who feel more obligation, whether that's to a family name or promises, or some of the characters have children, their parents, so they feel a certain obligation to either protect those kids or create a safer environment because they weren't able to protect their kids, right? There's so many complex reasons for characters needing to prove themselves or wanting to become stronger, and I feel like a lot of the younger characters, a lot of it is they need to prove that they deserve to be here, and it's just interesting how that's like all of them lined up in this particular moment. Yup, getting some of the team back together. The sass. Constant sass. You are really huge. Good observation. He didn't come with you though. Everyone's, oh, Rock filled us in. I'm like, he didn't come with you though? I guess because he was told to not come along. That's what his turtle instructed him of. But I feel like he probably would have anyway. How did you restrain him? Ooh, wait, we talked about being late. We also had Kun who said he was going to be late. Were y'all teamed up with Kun? Is Kun here somewhere? What's he doing? Is he with Rock? What's going on? I want everyone to be reunited. I know that's gonna happen for a while because they're all doing their own thing, but still. Yeah, okay, I'm not the only one who's like, where's our Kun? Where's our boy? Oh, it says he went up first. Is he towards the train? Is he already past you guys? What happened? Okay, we have another path. He's already gone ahead. Oh, he's up there. Yeah, y'all gotta catch the train. It's about to depart. Ooh, what a moment to end on, of like, we're gonna go join up with everyone, leading into the darkness to like this panel. Dang. I'm so excited to have some more of our team showing up, getting to see the characters again, and seeing some of how they've improved, because it has been a long time since we saw them. It's been all the way back at the end of the workshop battles, right? So much has happened since then in terms of plot and also finding stuff out, but also they've been training, right? Because the whole point was that they were supposed to go up a rank so that they could board the Hell Train. So they've all improved a ton to be able to get to this point, right? So I'm so excited to see some more of what they're capable of, some of the things that they've been working on, maybe hear a little bit about what they've been doing in the meantime in terms of training and all that. I don't know how much of that we'll actually hear unless it's pivotal to flashback to other stories. I feel like we might find out a bit more about what like Kun has been doing, because he's probably been setting up stuff. So at some point we'll probably have flashbacks to explain certain contexts for things, but I'm so excited to see them again and to have more of the team showing up and working together and seeing the progression and the way that they just have each other's back. It just like, it makes me so happy, because I was so excited at the end of the workshop battles where I was like, oh, everyone's together now. We're gonna get an ultimate team. It's gonna be like everybody together. And then they immediately split up. We had maybe 1-2 chapters where they were all together, and they were like, okay, everyone's gonna be splitting up into new teams and doing new stuff. And I was like, no, I want everyone together. I want to see this wonderful Avengers Assemble moment of all of these characters getting to work together. And I know that they're still working together and they're still communicating, but it's just fun to see the dynamics of all of these different characters together and see how their powers interact, how their personalities interact, and what they all have to bring to this particular team. It really is recruiting a little mini army, and I think that's so interesting given the kind of lore that has started to form around Bam and who he is, and the way that people view him as either something really negative, or a lot of people who are in positions of power see him as a tool to manipulate. But there are also lots of people who aren't in positions of power who see him as this symbol of change, or that they can throw their loyalty behind because he's going to be in opposition to systems and maybe change things for the better for them, right? There's worship of him, and there's also fear of him, and there's also manipulation. There's so many different ways that people see him, but it's so interesting to see this large group of people coming together around Bum and supporting him and also having their own goals and things like that. But it's so interesting to have this separate faction, right? Because there's so much focus in this, I feel, with Jihad and Fu, these two main groups that obviously have their own kind of groups within them and different people who are vying for different goals, right? But then to have Bum and his group be like a separate entity that kind of crosses over with those two groups, but ultimately has like their own motivations and their own reasons for doing stuff. I'm so happy. I'm so happy people are gonna be together. I need to see Bum, Kun, Rock all together again. You know, those three, I need them to never ever be apart. And the fact that I only got them together for a short amount of time before they separated again is bad for my mental health. Okay, I need them to all be together forever. So I'm just happy that we're going to see at least maybe a little bit of that coming up soon. But I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a Tower of God video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.